Greetings, all you Jacks and Jennets out there, and welcome to your daily dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's time to bring you the power rankings for Week 9 going into Week 10. We got the info from Gingy. We got the info from Laskers. We have the info from the Donk Nation Power Index. But first, something special. Thursday night is the Baltimore game, so we're going to let you know our picks for the AFC North game before it happens, so you can't say, oh, you guys just texted it afterwards. So, to put us on record, we have Gingy claiming the Ravens are going to win the game against the Dolphins by 10. Lasker says it's going to be 28-14, which is a 2-score win for Baltimore. And I, too, believe Baltimore wins by 2 touchdowns. So there you have our picks for the week. Without further ado, let's get into the Donk Nation Top 10. Something fun happened this week. The most teams we ever had get votes, 11. This week, though, 12 teams got votes for the top 10 spot. And it was kind of unique because for the first time ever, we had the 9th place team not be a unanimous top 10 team. So without further ado, let's get into it. Top 10. LA Chargers coming in at number 10 here with 30 points. And that's purely because I said the Chargers took Lasker's number 9 spot, I believe, because Laskers put the Rams in his top 10 twice, which confused me. So I just gave it to the other LA team for them. Then we have New Orleans coming in at number 9 on your Donk Nation top 10. Coming off a loss. Really got to see what happens with them losing wins to see what's happening. We have Baltimore coming in at number 8. Team looking like they might be on the up. Dallas coming in at number 7. I mean, Dak didn't do anything this week. Buffalo coming in at number 6. Green Bay coming in at number 5. A lot of love loss for Rodgers missing a game. Rams coming in at number 4 after getting just embarrassed by the number 3 team, the Tennessee Titans, this week. Number 2, we got the Buccaneers. You see here, it's Tom Brady. I mean, you don't ever count that team out unless they've lost. And at number 1 for your Dog Nation Power Rankings, coming in again, your Arizona Cardinals. So there you go. You got your Donk Nation top 10. Next, we'll go into the Power Index. And we'll start this week with the biggest movers. Both of the biggest movers in the Power Index come from your AFC North, with the Cleveland Browns moving up 5 spots and the Cincinnati Bengals going down 7 spots. Ironically, 2 teams that played each other. The winner gets a lot of the hype. The loser took a lot of the fall. So, let's go. 32 through 20 will do pretty quick. You have Detroit, still winless, playing the Steelers this week, coming in at 32. Houston, not a whole looking good there. I mean, between Deshaun Watson not being able to be traded and the team just looking terrible on the field. You got the Jets coming in at 30. Still think it's weird that both of their backups have looked better than their number 2 overall draft pick. The Dolphins coming in at 29. Jaguars off a huge win against Buffalo coming in at 28. I guess Jacksonville's Josh Allen was really, really upset that all the people in the news media like to call him the other Josh Allen, as he came with a fumble recovery, an interception, and a sack. Good for him. Let him know there's another Josh Allen out here that y'all should stop saying is the other Josh Allen, because I am Josh Allen and I am a great football player. Washington comes in at 27. Chicago comes in at 26 after a heartbreaking loss to the Steelers. Thank you, people out there wearing the zebra stripe shirts. I do appreciate the win we got. San Francisco coming in at 25. The Giants coming in at 24. They seem to be figuring a little bit out. Atlanta coming in at 23. Starting to make a little bit of a run. Maybe that team has a chance of getting in there. Philly coming in at 22. Carolina coming in at 21. It's just the honeymoon is over with Sam Darnold, and maybe he is who we thought he was. And the Chiefs staying right at number 20. Yeah, they beat the Packers, but not in a way that helped the metrics, let's just say. You go a little farther up, you got Minnesota coming in at number 19. Seattle coming in at number 18. 17 is your Indianapolis Colts, a team that I don't know how you want to really feel about them, but they can be explosive. They showed that against the Jets. Since he drops all the way down to 16, formerly was in the top 10, just not going the right way for them. The Chargers stay put at 15. Denver stays put at 14 after an impressive win over Dallas. That defense showed up, and Teddy didn't turn the ball over. Cleveland, after a big win against Cincinnati, moves all the way up to number 13. Number 12, up one more spot, is your Pittsburgh Steelers, still being weighed down by the fact that they don't have a great turnover margin. And if we're going to be honest here, that offense is just still, even with a 29-point performance, is still a bottom 10 offense in terms of points. New England, just missing, coming in at number 11, a team I think is young, getting better. I'm hearing them as the leader for Odell Beckham right now. I think that'd be a dumb move. It's them and the Packers I'm hearing most for. I don't think either of those teams should bring in that guy who's... it's going to be a little bit of a basket case, so to say. And then we get into the top 10. Vegas Raiders are here. A very 10 to 14 range in all the stats that are measured. But... as we saw last week, that offense isn't as explosive when you don't have Ruggs taking the top off. Can they make it work now that Ruggs is gone? And they just released another first-round draft pick from that one, the cornerback who had a terrible video showing him waving around a gun, threatening people. Vegas has a lot of problems right now, and most of them aren't on the field. Baltimore coming in at number 9, a team that's moving up, playing great offense. The defense is struggling, but you have an MVP candidate, Lamar Jackson, that does that for you. Number 8, you got the New Orleans Saints. We'll see what the loss of Winston does to them, but the metrics, the stats still like them. They still have a really good defense. Number 7, we got the Packers. I mean, they're like 20th in the league in points scored when an offense led by Aaron Rodgers almost all the time. I know the game with Jordan Love was only 7 points, but really this is just a team that's been, when Rodgers is there, is just doing enough to win. That's why the metrics aren't huge on them. Dallas comes in at number 7. You can't lose the way they did to Denver and not take a hit. Tennessee comes in at number 6, a team that's not overly loved, but hey, they went to LA and beat the Rams without Derrick Henry. The first game they were without Henry. You got to give your hats off there. That's huge. Tampa Bay, I believe, was on a bye, and they're coming in at our number 4 spot. Number 3 is Buffalo because the metrics still love the Bills. It doesn't measure wins yet against top teams versus bottom teams. It will start doing that after week 10, but a loss to the Jaguars hurts. But still, you're talking a top 5 offense in points, the top defense in points allowed, the best team in turnover margin. When you look at points against expected, they're a top 5 team. There's a reason Buffalo's there, even though they have more losses than a lot of the teams here. It's because all the other stats, statistically, this team is the team numbers love because they are just looking top echelon all the way. The biggest problem is they're losing games they shouldn't. They're not showing up to games they should, and that's going to hurt them. We got the Rams coming in at number 2 because even though they had that loss to Tennessee, they're still good record, still really good in the metrics. And to be honest, the reason Tennessee's held back there is their defense doesn't rank as high. Tennessee's defense has had some bad games, and they have a terrible loss on the record losing to the Jets. And the number 1 team, just like the Donk Nation, power rankings, it's got to be the Arizona Cardinals. You're talking top 5 offense, top 5 defense, best record in the league, great turnover margin, great points against expected. This is just, until further notice, which is probably going to be a bad loss, this is probably the team you're going to see leading the power rankings. And I have to say, last week, 3 touchdowns, game dominated by Pitts, James Conner, the Erie native, the Pitt Panther. I love to see it. I love James Conner. He's still the newest Steeler jersey I have. I'm still trying to figure out how to replace that one. But seeing James Conner lead those Cardinals was great to see. And for all the people who say he can't catch the football, how'd you like that 45-yard receiving touchdown? That's what I'm talking about, James Conner. You keep it up. You keep doing you. You keep being awesome. Now that we know the power rankings, let's get into Gingy Lasker's top 10. We'll start with Gingy. You go 10 to 1. Cleveland, Chargers, Bills, Cowboys, Rams, Ravens, Packers, Titans, Bucks, Cardinals. I have to admit, I actually really, really like this power ranking. If I was to think of a top 10, the top 3 would probably be the same for me, and in that order. I would probably have Baltimore at 4, then Green Bay, and I would probably put the Pittsburgh Steelers in above the Browns just because we own the Browns at Cleveland, and that makes me happy. Then we get to Lasker's top 10. We'll go 10 to 1. Number 10, New Orleans. Laskers told me the Rams were number 9, but he also told me the Rams were number 4. So I gave the Chargers the number 9 spot on his because I was like, maybe he meant the other LA team. We have Buffalo at 8, Baltimore at 7, Dallas at 6, Tampa Bay at 5, the Rams at 4, Tennessee at 3, Green Bay at 2, and Arizona at 1. Again, not one you can hate on. Green Bay is the team that beat Arizona after all. Green Bay does have their second loss without Aaron Rodgers. So really, you could look at it this way. As I have said before, the way the preseason is now that no one plays, week 1 is preseason. The Packers have lost 2 fake football games. They lost a preseason game in week 1, and they lost without their starting quarterback. So you can't argue with putting the Packers up there. I mean, there's a lot of debate for a lot of things. I think what you're going to see is there's only one team you can say deserves to be in a certain spot, and that is the Arizona Cardinals. So Laskers, Gingy, I like the power rankings. We gave you the picks for the Baltimore game early. No shout-outs because you have to listen to the great flagship episode on Saturday. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about. Maybe it'll be Friday. This weekend, you'll see it up there before the Sunday game kickoff, so listen to it as your pregame. We'll have a lot to talk to you about. You know that Donk Nation, Steeler Nation loves to get them waving. And hey, for once, we can say we won a game because of the refs. We didn't lose a game because of the refs. I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about. And I can't wait for you guys to hear the banter. We should have all 3 hosts there. We should have Gingy, Laskers, and your boy the Viking Donkey. Without anything else to say to you, I guess it's time for me to say goodbye. Donk Nation, Steeler Nation, wave them if you got them. Let us know how you think our power rankings went.